The laugh came from the kitchen. Soft. Familiar. Wrong. I was half awake when I heard it, the kind of laugh that doesn't need permission. It slipped through the hallway and settled on my chest like a weight. My wife's voice first, light, careless, then my stepdaughter's, higher, unguarded, a private rhythm between them. I stared at the ceiling fan as it turned, slow and methodical, like it was counting something I'd missed. I didn't move. I didn't breathe too loudly. I listened. There was a time when that sound meant safety, morning normalcy, a family starting the day without me needing to hold it together. But this morning the laughter felt rehearsed, complete, like I was already excluded. The words from the night before surfaced without effort. "You'll never be her real dad. Stop pretending." She'd said it casually, not angry, not shouting, just honest. Honesty always arrives late. I lay there, fully awake now, cataloging the details, the way the laughter didn't pause when I shifted, the absence of footsteps coming to check on me, the certainty that no one was wondering how I felt. I realized something then. This wasn't the beginning, it was the moment the curtain finally lifted. 10 years is a long time to misunderstand your role. I met my wife when her daughter was 3, big eyes, silent observer. I didn't force affection, I waited, learned her habits, learned when to step in and when to step back. I thought that's what love was, restraint. I paid for the school, the braces, the summer camps she stopped thanking me for after a while. I told myself that was normal. Children grow, gratitude fades, but respect shouldn't. The comment from the night before replayed itself, slower now, measured. She hadn't said it in anger, that was the problem. It wasn't a weapon, it was a correction. I started remembering the smaller things I'd ignored, family photos where I stood slightly off-center, school forms where my name was optional, conversations that paused when I entered the room. I told myself I was being paranoid. Men always do. I went to work that day like nothing had shifted. I answered emails, signed documents, smiled when required. But inside, something was aligning, pieces settling into a shape I didn't like but recognized. That night I didn't touch her. She didn't notice. She never did. I didn't confront. Confrontation is emotional. Emotional people make mistakes. Instead, I observed. I watched how my wife spoke to her daughter when she thought I wasn't listening, softer, conspiratorial. I noticed how my presence shortened conversations, how plans were made around me, not with me. I checked records, not obsessively, quietly. Financial statements, old emails, nothing scandalous, nothing dramatic, just patterns. I ordered a DNA test under the guise of a medical check, routine, necessary. She didn't question it. Why would she? I'd always been the responsible one. While I waited, I kept playing my part. Dinner at 7, bills on time, neutral tone. I became invisible on purpose. Let them relax. Let them forget I was paying attention. The laughter continued in the mornings. It didn't hurt anymore. It clarified. I realized then that betrayal doesn't always arrive as an affair or a secret lover. Sometimes it's simpler. Sometimes it's the quiet agreement between two people that you don't belong. The test results arrived on a Thursday. I didn't open them right away. I already knew. I opened the envelope alone, seated at the dining table I'd paid for. The language was clinical, percentages, probabilities, final. No biological relation. I nodded once, not in surprise, in confirmation. That evening I placed the report on the counter between us. Didn't explain, didn't accuse. She picked it up, read it. Her face collapsed inward like a structure losing support. She looked at me, waiting for something. Anger, grief, volume. I gave her nothing. "So," I said quietly, "when were you going to tell me?" Her mouth opened, closed. Her eyes moved toward the hallway, instinctively checking if her daughter could hear. That was the answer. She cried, said my name, reached for my arm. I stepped back. Silence is devastating when someone expects noise. I didn't argue. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't ask for explanations I wouldn't believe. I just acted. The house went on the market the next morning. I'd already spoken to an agent weeks earlier. Precaution, I told myself. Foresight, I realized now. It sold fast. I packed my things with care, not haste, not rage, precision. They watched me from doorways, confused, frightened, finally aware. My wife tried once more. Apologies, rewriting history, telling me I mattered. I smiled then, just slightly. I know, I said. I mattered when it was convenient. I left a note on the kitchen table. One sentence, no explanation. You're right. I'm not her real dad, and you're not my real family. I walked out before they could respond. Power doesn't shout, it exits quietly. I don't miss the house. I don't miss the routines or the roles or the version of myself that kept asking for permission to belong. 10 years taught me how to endure. One sentence taught me how to leave. I don't wonder if they regret it. Regret is emotional currency. I don't trade in it anymore. Some men break when the truth is exposed. Others sharpen. I didn't lose a family. I escaped a lie. And I've never slept better than I do now, in rooms where my silence is respected and my absence finally makes sense.